No, she wishes. She really is not, of course. And Gary Al Smith is also joining us and has been over the last 3 days talking about his own experiences of stigmatization as he's witnessed with other people, as he has been recovering from the infection coronavirus. But we're all in this together because we do have colleagues here, right here, multimedia, who also have been infected, and we need to make sure that we put what information is right out there. Gary, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me, Roland.
Yeah, great.
It's a pleasure.
Great. Have you been discharged already?
Yes, I have, since last night.
Charlie, fantastic. You look good. But what have been your experiences that you've been sharing over the last 3 days, Gary?
Personally, it's important to state that I have not personally faced direct stigmatization, obviously, because I am, I was in there. And the only thing you can talk about is probably some online, you know how people can be online,
yeah.
With a few people even doubting whether I was COVID positive and so on and so forth. I use the word was because I have undergone the test to find out if I am negative. The test result is not yet out, but the regulations have changed because of the whole WHO thing that the president spoke about in his address. So it means then that I have done 10 days, and so I have been out of the facility. So personally, though, I've not experienced what you call direct stigmatization, but people very close to me, and I mean very, very, very close to me, because of my association with them. Unfortunately, some of these people are my work colleagues on my desk. Some of the stories are really sad, Roland, because they know me and just because they work with me, they've had some difficult moments. And then you look at some of the patients at the UGMC as well, who have some harrowing stories, of the way their friends have been treating them, why they are unable to even tell family members. And then there are those who, have just come in, who also feel like if they even tell anyone, they'll be in trouble. So it's layered, different kinds. Those who have already told family members and are facing, or friends and are facing the stigmatization from the communities. Those who know and because of that are afraid to even get the required psychological and emotional support from people because of the stigmatization they fear they will get. It's important to note that I have sounded very, very positive. I have sounded very, very upbeat, and generally I've sort of been a ray of sunshine to myself, and I imagine to others.
Yeah, definitely it's got to do with the link. And we're speaking to Gary L. Smith, sports editor with the sports team right here at Joy, and sharing his experiences that we know definitely are going to impact lives. But it's all because it's a COVID moment. We all using the show want to be. Yeah, Gary, you can continue. Yeah, I can see you.
Yeah, sorry, why did you lose me?
Your experiences, how you've been a ray of sunshine to yourself. Yes.
Yes, and the point I was making was that I couldn't have done all that without support, okay. And that is absolutely vital. Now, Roland, imagine yourself being, this was the first time I had ever been admitted in a hospital, consciously, because the only time I was admitted, I think I collapsed many, many years ago. I have no recollection of how it happened, but this is the first time I have been admitted, and I have known that I have been admitted. And for those who have been in hospital before, you know how lonely it can be and how you can easily go into a pit of self-pity and depression and all that. I was only constantly upbeat and all that because of support I got from family, from very good friends, from colleagues at work. And I'd like to give shout outs to a lot of the guys at work. You know, if I mention names, there'll be too many. So imagine those who have come to facilities like UGMC at this time when COVID is the current disease in vogue. Everybody is looking at you, everybody is talking at you, and they can't have any kind of support. They can't pick up a phone and call anybody. They can't text anybody about it. They cannot describe anything that's happened to them. It is a really, really difficult time for these people. And that is one out of 1,001 reasons why we should keep these people close. I remember, you know, for my age, the biggest anti-stigmatization campaign that I can relate to is the HIV and AIDS one, you know, in the late 90s and early 2000s. That's the biggest one I've seen. I've seen how it worked.
Stop AIDS, Love Life.
Yeah, Stop AIDS, Love Life, and all the work that went into it. I mean, even then, you saw how much it took for the message to sink. Look, we have not done
half of it.
Yes, go ahead.
I was part of that campaign, so I know what it is. Even for me, even featuring in the ads, I was even thought to be HIV positive.
The TikTok advert, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So
I remember. I mean, at the time, you were one of the few people who was doing news on television. One of the young people who was doing news on television, and so you know, Israel and some of your colleagues back when you were, you know, at the Sunway and all that. So yeah, that's what I can say. If you have any more questions.
All right, no more questions, Gary. We thank you for your time, but we wish you well as well. And we're all in this together. Look, the stigmatization also comes to us definitely. So our time is up. You know how broadcasting time is.
It's at work, I know, but we'll have that conversation later.
Okay, bro. And Gary and I will go way back, way back. He knows what I'm talking about. So Gary L. Smith, thank you for concluding for us. We've had Mama Viosa Boaje, Dr. The Right Reverend Dr. Boafo helping us, Professor Teriam Ponsa, we've had Sefam Lord Mensa, and then Professor Yosef also helping us do this great conversation. Of course, we had sports and all. Have a great morning. We have the live transmission. The Ministry of Information will bring all for you right here on the channel. Bye-bye.